again, few years passed, and WRTC family is here in Italy to make another big event to remember for life, as all previous was. Although we were faced with big obstacles which did not allow entire world to live normal life, the organization of WRTC 2022 succeeded to prepare the event that we all was waiting for. We all should be grateful to people who organized this WRTC and to applaud them to do it through very difficult and tough time and work. So, in the name of WRTC Sanctioning Committee, I here announce that World Radiosport Team Championship 2022 is officially opened.
Many thanks, Tine. And then welcome from the Major of this city, of Castel San Pietro. Today is the birthday of Major, so many thanks to be here.
Thank you, Gianluca. My warmest welcome to all of you to be here in Castel San Pietro. I wear the belt because the Italian belt, because I am officially the most important representative of the Italian government. I am the mayor, but I am very happy to see a lot of people happy, because now in the world there are too much people not happy. But you are, I see a lot of people that slow, and this is very, for me, very. I am happy of this. You are very important for this period and for me in this moment. I am also proud that Gianluca, Claudio, all the other, and the association, probably I don't know, but the association choose Castel San Pietro for Italy, to represent Italy in this global event, and so I am very proud that you are here, and I hope that you can find in this small town, in this small territory, within the Emilia-Romagna. I looked at before many images of the Emilia-Romagna, of our excellence, are already also in the bag. We provide. There are some depliants, to some leaflets to present this territory. I hope you enjoy to stay here and to visit you, and the team probably have another I would say objective to stay here, but all the partners, all the family, all the friends can stay here. We have therme, we have a lot of trekking, a lot of biking, so there is a lot of very beautiful territory to stay here for a week. And so I hope that you enjoy to stay here for this week, and this is of my town warmest welcome again. Thank you.
Thank you. You perfectly describe why we select Castel San Pietro in order to perform this event. So, I am Gianluca Mazzini. I came for Lima Zulu Hotel just to give you a little of details of this event, just this presentation here. very, very fast. First of all, thanks to all of you for traveling here, to be here, to participate in WRTC, to love ham radio, and to help us remember Guglielmo Marconi, because it is where Guglielmo Marconi performs experiment and invented the radio. The beginning of this activity for WRTC 2022. In 2016, we have a few contests and few ideas in order to candidate Italy. On 2016, we created the logo. On January 2017, so a lot of times ago, let's say, we have a first meeting in Ferrara, in particular in a zone called Cento, where with the other friend you described, we have a first meeting. I remember the letter from India Kilo 1 Hotel Julia Sierra and India 4 Uniform Force Hotel that was collecting all people in order to start. And so we're collecting idea, and in July 2018, the organization committee and the possibility to perform this event goes to Italy. So we start just immediately from July to create a non-profit organization that we call Olimpiadi della Radio 2022, that now has more than 90 members and continue to increase. We have some patronage, not so simple to have, but we are particularly proud of. The Ministero delle Imprese del Made in Italy, so National Ministry, the Regione Emilia-Romagna, the place that hosts us, and the Comune of Castel San Pietro Terme. We have three big problems that you know very well, but let me just remind that 2021, 2022 coronavirus, that stop a lot of possibility to traveling. 2022, 2023, and I don't know, the war. 2023, we have flooding. Here there is the image of flooding where all the south part of our territory was completely flooded with a lot of problem. We have the house of Guglielmo Marconi. Here on upper right, you can see Villa Grifone. Radio was invented in 1895. Guglielmo Marconi Foundation is actually located, and I am in the board of this foundation, attempting to remember in any occasion the father of radio, Guglielmo Marconi. We have the India Yankee 4 Foster Golf Mike Memorial Station placed there, and the headquarters of our non-profit organization is located in this site. We collect a lot of money in order to create this event. Let's say here there is the details by years of what we was able to collect. We arrived in the overall of 354K. That was absolutely not trivial with the event that we had last year. We are attempting to select the best site for you in order to have a good occasion to enjoy the contest, to enjoy the WRTC. We were starting from countryside, but unfortunately with coronavirus was not possible to contract and to select a countryside place. So we decided to go in the beach. We have a very beautiful beach, but unfortunately, the night of 9 July is the night where all the people stay on the beach. So it was not absolutely possible to have a contest in parallel. It's called the Pink Night. And so not possible to go in the Pink Night. So we attempted to go in hotels close to the beach with flat place and not simple to select. We are right to select about 2025. Then we discovered that there was a local law that was not permitted to put antenna in the top, so it was not possible to perform this event. Then at the end we go in a farmhouse. That was the final selection, and we have selected more than 60 farmhouse. Here is where are located this farmhouse. For all farmhouse, we was going more times there. We was checking regarding electromagnetic compatibility, noise in different moments, and so on. So we arrive to creating an antenna kit And this antenna kit has a 3-band, 7-element antenna, and thanks to K1 Lima Zulu for that. We have 2 dipole, one for 40 meters and the other for 80 meters, thanks to Momobeam. We have a Yeso rotator. We have more than 15 meters of cable for each side, thanks to Messi and Paoloni. And we was finding adapters for all the 70 antenna kits that we create, so the antenna will be not destroyed, but will be used to ham radio in other occasions. We have a lot of volunteers that work a lot in order to create VPNs for all the site to give the possibility of monitoring what will be happening and to have a complete, full information regarding the QSO will be done. That's just an idea of the infrastructure, but we have also a very, I don't go in deeply details, but we have a strong mechanism, and thanks for India Whiskey 1 Foster Romeo uniform creating this system, and we have, just to give you an idea, a lot of servers with big core, big RAM in order to have all real time, all with the redundancy in order to have no problem. We create also an hour in order, more than 1 hour, 3 hours, in order to focusing attention to WRTC. The first was during about 6 months, more than 1.5 million QSO, more than 120K unique young lady and old men participants, more than 250 countries. And that was on 2022 for 6 months. Then we have 1 month in 2023 of hours, and again number here is reported very, very strong. And then we have an hour during the competition of the next weekend, and we will have in the final Monday night the number of this final competition. There is the organization committee. There is India 4 Uniform Force Hotel, the vice president. There is India Kilo 2 November Charlie Juliet Luca, and India Tango 9 Eco Quebec Oscar Antonio, and a lot of other people is involved. I would like to thank in particular Claudio, India 4 Victor Eco Quebec. Many thanks, Claudio. Without you, it was not possible to arrive here. So that was a very, very important situation. All is possible thanks to sponsors. That's a sponsor. I will not go in deeply detail, just looking to the sponsor. A lot of sponsors help us, and a lot of volunteers. I don't say here what a single person, what a single ham radio here report perform, but all was important for us and permitted to have this WRTC. Many thanks to all, and enjoy WRTC. Now Fabio.
Starting to be old. Okay. A little bit tired. Good evening, everyone. Thanks to be here, and thanks to join WRTC 2022 after several years of work. Finally, we have time to thanks again you. Well, we start. We have a different approach than the last WRTCs because we are Italian, so we do things another way. And every team have his sign, and we ask to the team to okay. No, I'm thinking to stand up, and when I call them, and so it would be a quickly stuff because we have also several personalities, several VIP guys that are waiting for us. So we start in alphabetical order. So we start with Africa 1, E8RM, E82W. Can you stand up? Thank you. Africa 2, 5T5PA, KF5, EYY. Well, Africa 3, ZR2A, DL9EE. Well, Asia 2, Radio Mike 9 India, UA9L. Asia 3, 4X6FR, 4X1DX. Now from the far away AS4, BA1RB, BA4TB. And now most far away AS5, ER2, XAN, IK5, IK2 PFL. Asia 6, E21 AEC, E29 TGW. Asia 7, JH5, GHM, WA1Z. Second team from AS7, JA1, BJI, JR2, GRX. Okay. Well, now starting with Central America. Nare Papa for Zulu and Tuti NT. Now we start with a long row with European guys. Echo Uniform 1, Lima Yankee 4 Alpha, OM 3 RM. EU2, GD4 XUM, G3 NKC. The second U2 TM OR2F LZ4AX. EU3 SP7 GIQ SP7 IVO. EU3 DJ5 MW DL1 IEO in the Alpha Oscar. One more U3, DL5 AXX, DL7 FER. And UA4, United Alpha 4 Fox Echo Radio, LZ2HM. U4, Radio Alpha 3CO, RA3AUU. Now U5, Echo Charlie 2DX and CT1 ILT. From French, U6, Fox 8 DBF, Fox 1 AKK. And now U7, IZ1 LBG, IK3 QAR. Another U7, 987DX, 983LG. One more U7, S5 3MM, S5 7K. EU8, RW7K, RA9P. One more EU8, EW6W, EU1EA. They're still waiting for a yellow t-shirt. Now, the Echo Uniform 9, Echo 77DX, Echo 70T. And for last one from Europe, Europe 10, IZ8 GAI, IZ8 FWN. Now starting with North America, NA1, K5ZD, W2SC. NA1, W1 UE, K1XM. NA2, VA2 EW, VA2 WA. NA3, KD4D, KE3X. Now NA3 again, NN3 Willie, N3QE. NA4, NE9U, and K9CT. NA5, K4AB, NN7CW. NA6 and 2 India Charlie, HA3NU. Now NA7, K1CW, AB5A. NA8, B5MX, B3EJ. NA9, KA6RRN, N5ZO. Now the last one, NA10, NG0C, AC0W. Now, another side of the world. OEC1, 996NA and K5WA. OC2, AD6E, K6XX. And OC3 is ZL3CW and BK2IA. South America now. W2GD A3B. SA2, Fox Yankee 5, Fox Yankee, Fox 4 DXW. I'm from the deepest South America, CE3LR, CE3CT. SA4, PY2NY, PY2SEX, PC4T. Well, this was the main list, but we have the donors team, KO8, SC8, S55M. Second donor team, AD5A, AB5EB. Third one, 403A, 983A. And donor team 5, UW7LL, VE3DZ. Well, now the white card, OM3 Bravo Hotel, OM3 GI. And for the first time in the WRTC is a Greece station, Sugar Victor 2 DSJ with Lima Zulu 3 Fox November. WC4, LZ1NK, LZ4 Alpha Echo. The youth team, we have several youth team, YL3JA, UR5, YKO. Mike 0 Sugar Delta Victor, DK6 Sugar Papa without sign, but okay. The third one, Bayou 5 EEA 993 SMS. And probably the youngest one, Delta Lima 3 ON Echo India 5 LA. Well, that's all, folks. Thank you and enjoy, and hope this WRTC will be enjoyable for everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, Fabio. I will invite Giovanni Emanuele Corazza, the president of Guglielmo Marconi Foundation. And Guglielmo Marconi as the house in Pontecchio Marconi, and I am very, very happy to have here Giovanni, because Giovanni is a professor in the University of Bologna, and is performing actually some research on radio, but also some join of what is creativity and how creativity works with future, let's say. So
good evening, everyone. We can feel the enthusiasm here. So we can open up, put in presentation mode. Here we are. Control L.
let's say it's not working. This one. Okay.
Okay. So welcome again. I'm going to spend a few minutes, still 15 or less than that. First of all, you might have heard of what is this NFT, non-fungible tokens. What is this idea of a value for something that is digital? We don't care. So let's change the meaning of NFT. Let's say you are here because this is a non-fungible territory. There is no other place in the world. And I mean that by saying that in a radius of 200 kilometers, you find the birthplace of, first of all, Leonardo da Vinci, Maria Montessori, and Guglielmo Marconi. And let me bring you around a tour of these three people, starting with Leonardo. 1500, he talks about telecommunications. He draws the sketch of a telecommunication system. It's actually pipelines, acoustic pipelines. But what is important is what he writes underneath that drawing. I will tell you in Italian first, old Italian. Parleransi gli uomini di remotissimi paesi, l'uno all'altro e risponderansi, which means peoples from very far away countries, North America, Ocean, South Africa, will talk to each other and provide answers. 1500. Now we jump 4 centuries to Maria Montessori. She's a genius in many, many ways, but one of the contributions she gave is called the so-called concept of cosmic education, which means children have innate curiosity. All we need to do is to let them grow that curiosity by sowing the seeds of all sciences with self-discovery and independence. And now we jump to the young Guglielmo Marconi, who exactly did that because he did not finish high school, never went to the University of Bologna, no, did not get a degree. But since he was 11, 12, he already had the dream of becoming an inventor. And he started to work on electromagnetism at a time, the end of the 19th century, when that topic was as hot as artificial intelligence is today. That was the hot thing, electromagnetism. And in this Villa Grifoni that you will visit, 50 of you already did that today, he started playing with, batteries and ideas and the detectors and so on. And in 1895, he's already very old, 21 years old. He performs the first experiments to demonstrate that you can overcome obstacles. And the first obstacle was the Celestini Hill in front of Villa Grifone. What does he do right away? He moves to England. He's 22 years old. Why does he do that? Not because the Italian government does not listen to him, but because England and London in particular was the same as the Silicon Valley of today. The place where everything was happening, where you could find venture capital. So he files for the patent, receives the patent the year after that, and starts a company. So he's not only an inventor, but also an entrepreneur. And no one else that was working on radio back then was both an inventor and entrepreneur. Only Guglielmo Marconi. Also worrying about branding and so on, okay? In 1900, it starts the maritime service across the large radio mail ships, like the future Titanic. And what does he do? Does he sell radio? No. Does he train operators for those radio? No. He leases the equipment and the operators, the Marconi men, Marconisti in Italian, they are employees of the Marconi company. So he sells the platform as a service. The business model of cloud computing, which we feel is very, very up-to-date and modern, he started that in 1900. 1901, he decides to do something that will surprise the world. Why does he do that? He's very, very in a hurry to do that. In fact, he does it in December, in Canada in December. You know, that's not a good choice. But the antennas will collapse, actually. But he has a hurry to, surprise the world because the company is still losing money. He has not reached the break-even yet. He will reach that in 1908, 7 years after that. So much later. So what does he do? He builds the antenna in Cornwall, falls down, builds a smaller one, so he cannot go to Glass Bay in the USA. He has to reduce the length of the link, so he goes to St. John's in Newfoundland, of course. And there he builds the receiving antenna, falls down, puts up balloons. Balloons are broken and carried away by the wind. So they fly over the United States and they are taken down by the aviation. No, that's a more recent story. But the third try was with kites. And that is not a drawing. It's a picture of the kites that were bringing up the antennas on the receiving site in St. John, Newfoundland, on the December 12 of 1901. The month after that, 2nd of January, New York, big party for the young inventor Guglielmo Marconi in New York at the Waldorf Astoria, where Nikola Tesla was living. He was living there, but he sends a small note to say, I'm a little sick, I cannot come to celebrate the young Italian inventor, but congratulations for that. Okay, so after that, you know the story about the disaster recovery at sea, 1909. Perhaps you don't know this date, but that is the date of a big crash between the Republic and Florida. Florida was coming from Italy, and it was carrying people from Messina. And a few days before that Florida ship left Napoli, we had the big earthquake in Messina, the worst, the most dramatic event in Europe at the time. So these people that escaped the earthquake then got into the crash of the two ships. But Jack Binns, that was on the Republic, the Marconist or Marconi man on the Republic, started to send the distress signal. It was not SOS. SOS did not exist yet. It was proposed, but it was not official. So it was CQD. And that signal was received, and then other ships came in, and everyone was saved. And that was the reason, one of the main reasons why in 1909, the same year, Guglielmo Marconi received the Nobel Prize for Physics. And the last thing I'm going to say about Marconi is that in 1937, which is the year he dies, at 63 years old, he says radio broadcasting, which was the big commercial success at the time, is great, but not the ultimate application. In my opinion, he says, much more important will be exchanging radio communications wherever the correspondence may be. Perhaps in Medicina, perhaps in Emilia-Romagna, perhaps anywhere in the world, on the ice pack or on airplanes. So essentially in 1937, he foresees and forecasts the world of personal communications that we see today. So let me just say that we are waiting for you. Whoever has not come yet to Villa Grifone, you have to come because this is La Mecca for you. This is where everything has started in 1895, and the IEEE, the International Society for Electronic Engineering, recognizes that that is a place where radio was invented in 1895 with 2 milestones, and you can come there and take pictures. And again, welcome, and I wish you a great competition in this weekend.
Thank you, Giovanni. And now we have the president of the more important ham radio association here in Italy, ARI, Associazione Radioamatori Italiani. So Alessio Sacchi, please come here from far away. And Alessio was presenting us the path, the developing path of this association and what is happening here. Please.
Thank you. You made me run now. I'm low on breath. So good evening, everyone. My name is Alessio. I'm not used to. I usually stand, but it's okay. I hope you can still follow. Okay. What's about me? So first of all, welcome to Italy. Welcome to Emilia-Romagna. It's actually where I'm from, so I'm quite proud of it. Thanks to Gianluca for the invite and all of the organizing committee. There's 2 things probably that are an anomaly, if you will, as a president of the National Association, ARI. I'll start from the first one, which is my age, as you can see, right? I'm definitely younger than the average president of a national association. I'm not even 40, if you think about that. And the second one is actually that I'm a contester. So you probably haven't heard me quite often, but I'll tell you a little story. Is anyone of the ICC in the room, Italian Contest Club? There we go. So they came over at Friedrichshafen and they gifted me with a T-shirt, and they said, it's incredible. We have a president that actually shows up on contests on weekends, and you know it's quite funny how that is unusual, if you will. Contesting. I just want to tell you a little story, also to recognize a friend that is in the room today. He doesn't know about this. He's going to be very, very upset with me. I got into radio very young. I was probably 12, 13. And as many of us, right, I joined the club, the local club. I met people, right? And sometimes some of these people actually show up and, you know, help others, right? You're probably familiar with the term Elmer. And you grow. You help others growing, right? And that's probably how amateur radio is done worldwide, if you think about that. It was funny because we wanted to get the full ownership of that roof that you see on that picture, right? That's a club station that used to be, I would say, 40 minutes from here, right? So it would be very, very quick to reach. At that time, you know, we needed power to use that roof, right? And to build a contest station, and we were all very young. So someone was taking care of, you know, projects. I was taking care of the politics, and, you know, that helped me getting here probably and making some experience. But there was one guy, right, that was really about Elmering and keeping the team together. And I want to stress Elmering because it's actually how I'm going to end my presentation today, and I want to leave you with some ideas. That guy, right, was supposed to play an active role at this event. He was supposed to be either a referee or a side manager, but unfortunately he decided to be to play the youngster and go by bike and injure himself. So Andy, I just want to recognize your role in Elmering, and if you can stand up your good end, and if we can welcome Andy, IK4 VET, which is going to be unfortunately quite passive in the event. But role of Elmering is where, again, I want you to really focus. So I think we heard just a very, very good speech about, where we are and why Bologna and Emilia-Romagna is such an important region for radio. So Italy is number radio land of definitely great contesters, right? We know that. That's for sure. But I just want to give you some notes on operating from here and what is about being an amateur radio in Italy, right? And I start with this. If I think about the regulations, right, what is allowing us to own a license in Italy, right? It's very simple. We have an AREC 500 watts single class lifetime call sign, and it's actually quite funny if you noticed. Most of our call signs are very long, and that's by definition because one of the things that hasn't changed in 70, 80, 90 years is the vanity call sign as well. But thinking of Elmering, which again, like I told you, is really the theme. You must be 16 or older to own a call sign, right? You can probably operate before, but you must be 16 or older. And if you think about where you're coming from, this might be very odd. Right? Think about the United States. There's no age required. Currently, we don't have a novice class, so it's very hard to get newcomers, right, with a very simple exam in. We can't take control of exams or, help the administration running the exams. And unfortunately, we don't really have a legal way, let's put it that way, to get kids on the air during events. And I'm looking Philip and all of the discussion we have at Yarrow level. This is, of course, creating a lot of, troubles for us, and we would definitely like to get better. So, on a funny note, I will say we just have 20 kHz on top band, and that is a very, very strange thing in Europe. I think in Europe, Region 1, we're the only one with such a low bandwidth. By the way, one of the things that I'm very committed to is the relationship with the administration. We have two members of the administration in the room today. It's Corrado and Gianluca. If you can please stand up. Corrado and Gianluca from Mise. Mimit. There we go. And just to give you an idea of how we try to work with the administration, this is our national journal. And just last month, we worked on a quite sensitive topic, which is, as you can imagine, the digitalization of all of the documents and regulations about amateur radio. And we did this really in pair with the administration. We worked very, very tight together in a concept of if we help the administration getting better services, we get better services, right? And that's really what we're trying to change and get better. And I'm sure, as you can imagine, should be a top priority of a national association. What keeps me up at night? Not my 3 young kids, not my full-time job, definitely not the financial of a no-profit, because as you can imagine, with a no-profit, what you get is what you spend, and that's it. What really keeps me up at night is the people that we get involved, and we try to keep all together under the same virtual roof, if you will, right? And I'm still struggling to understand how in 20 years, right, in a country like ours with 59 million people, right, managed to actually lose amateur radios and not really engaged. Multiple reasons, right? We didn't use the social networks enough. We didn't leverage the technology innovations that came in. I think we did a very, very bad job, right? Trying to get new people involved and get ourselves known, what do we do, why we're here, what it takes for people, right, to become experts like you. Luckily, we have been able to change this in just 1 year, as you can see, but it's a very, very tough end. One of the things we're working on, and I'll give you some ideas, which I hope you can also take back to your own associations, which I hope are doing better than us, but I know this crisis is a little bit everywhere. I think a country like Italy with about 60 million people probably has a potential to get up to 1,000 new hams every year. And if you think about that number, if you think about the contest signals that you were getting in the 90s and then 2000s and then later, right, that would be awesome. That would be fantastic. I'm dreaming of that, getting new people in, signals back in the air, crowded bands, have fun. So we got to work on, onboarding new good hams, right? And it takes a whole journey to do that. Can I ask you guys a question? What do you think is the average age of someone that has never heard of amateur radio and wants to get in? Speak up, some numbers. Average age of first touch. 55? 40, 45? You actually have a quite good idea of that, right? It's 46.5, at least in Italy, okay? I don't think it's very different elsewhere.
You just need more kids.
We need more kids. You're 100% right, my friend. But if we actually look at how they are distributed, yes, we do have more kids, okay? And look at that. 12% are actually below 30 years old, okay? And this is a sample of 1 year across multiple regions in our country, right? 28% are actually younger than 40 years old. And still, okay, between 40 and 60 years old, it's still 53%, which is a good percentage. You have a lot of years to enjoy radio, even if you are between 40 and 60, right? What this tells us is, if we show up, if we go out there, right, they just come and they want to play with us. And that's the key point. The potential is there. It's up to us as associations to keep it up. So what did we do? We realized that definitely everything we have done so far doesn't work anymore. Remember that chart, right? Going down that deep in just 10 years. Why? Because, of course, we need to completely change the way we talk to these guys and the way we showed what our hobby is, including contesting. And so we tried to look at the problem, right, on its entirely, from, really left to right. So what we did was try to map where amateur radios come from, depending on the age they have, right? They can come from local clubs, as probably most of us did back in the days. Father was a ham, is a ham, or maybe they're interested in science, maybe they've seen something at school, right? Maybe they've seen something at scouting, whatever. And I think, when we pick up these folks, I think we do a yellow job. What does it mean, yellow? We could do better, right? But still in Italy, we see quite good number of interest coming in. And I call that inception. It's where you talk to a young kid or to a grown-up man or lady, and you show what amateur radio is, the inception. What comes next? Someone is to train them, get them on an exam. This is true everywhere in the world, right? This of course, is what it takes. And luckily, we do a fantastic job. That's why I put that green. We train them very well in Italy. We get them on the exam. They pass the exam. What is the problem? I was talking about Elmering, right? And I mentioned what happened to me a few years ago. We do a terrible job, and I think this is true in most countries, of Elmering them and helping them understand actually what it means to use and leverage and grow into amateur radio. And that's the key point. And guys, that's a responsibility that all of us carry everywhere we go. And it's not about getting a guy or a girl interested in amateur radio. It's about developing their passion and showing them that things are possible. And I would really like you guys to take this back home. So on a closing note, because I think we all want to get a drink maybe, what are my takeaways, right? How do I run the National Association? And how maybe this is not very different from how you're going to run the contest this weekend, right? But the first thing is we are in control, right? I'm in control of the association for a limited time, right? As you know, in association, you probably are up for 2, 3, 4 years. Then there's a new election. That time needs to be used wisely. You guys are on the air for 24 hours. You got to use it wisely. That's number one rule. Trust the numbers. The one thing I learned during my very early days of contesting was about numbers. I read the numbers, I trust what the numbers tell me, I challenge those numbers in contesting and running the club. That's why I was showing you the average age, the trend of the subscriptions, etc. Then we need to learn to react to changes, right? How many times you decide, should I change band? Should I change mode? Should I stay here, right? That's exactly what you do with an association, especially when you are involved in a very dynamic digital world. You may publish some advertisement on Twitter today, and in 6 months, Twitter is not the best way to attract other people, et cetera, et cetera. Read your numbers again, right? How much this is true in contesting as well, right? So keep challenging yourself, keep reassessing. Why did I show Generation Future? Because you need to look at the bigger picture. You need to look at the entire contest, right? Not just as, these 6 hours because it's daylight and I'm going to work the US. I need to look at how I get the guys in the first side and how do I train them. At the same time, like in contesting, we need to prefer quality over time. We want good operators, we want good QSOs, we want those call signs to be correct in the log. We want these guys to follow up and be maybe at WRTC next time. So enjoy your stay here in Italy. Most welcome from the National Association and 73s.
Thank you, Alessio. And now Alessio was calling the local ministry, so Gianluca, you can come here to say something, what you want, essentially, that we can do, we can use all the power that we want, we can do what we want in any time now, okay? Okay. You can...
Buonasera, good evening. My English is terrible, so Gianluca translate for me. I'm sorry, but I...
Che bello, that's beautiful, okay?
L'hai mai fatto?
Never.
Ok. Niente, sono Gianluca Tigretti del Ministero delle Imprese del Made in Italy, il ministero che in Italia rilascia le patenti, i nominativi, le autorizzazioni generali dei servizi di radioamatore.
It's not my job to translate. So,
Dai.
so anyway, it's Gianluca Tigretti from the ministry, very, very short. And it's the ministry that gives license, patents, and so on in order to become AM radio.
It's amazing, eh? Ok, intanto porto il saluto anche del nostro dirigente che oggi non è potuto venire e per far capire quanto il nostro Ministero interessasse questa importantissima manifestazione, come ha già accennato Gianluca, abbiamo rilasciato il patrocinio e assegnato un congruo numero di nominativi speciali che verranno divulgati al momento opportuno da Gianluca, adatti a questa importante manifestazione.
Più lungo, no, more long, it's not possible. Anyway, best wishes from the top management of the local ministry, and they was helping us in order to have the patronage from the ministry, and in particular to have the call sign that you will be used during the WRTC contest. We cannot give you the details about this call sign that will be public on Friday, but anyway, that was not so easy to obtain, just 1 year, let's say, but at the end, thanks to Gianluca and thanks for the local part of the ministry that allow us to have this kind of call sign that you will be used for 24 hours.
Okay. Grazie. Siccome lo vedo un po' provato da questa esperienza, io non posso che augurare a tutti in bocca al lupo e buona serata.
Good evening. So, many thanks. Grazie. So, now we have finished. So, please, Fabio, just to give 2 kind of details. First, what happens tomorrow. Second, what happens in this evening.
Well, okay, it's now 18:30, maybe 7:30 p.m. for U.S. guys. So in half hour we have dinner. You know that at 8 o'clock you need to go there. So what will be happening tomorrow? Tomorrow we have the meeting tomorrow morning, and will be released with a team with the referee. We do not draw cosigns and side will be happen Friday morning. But tomorrow we have this meeting, so teams and referee can know together. And in the afternoon we have a couple of meetings. 2:30 p.m. we have referees and competitor meeting. And you can make any question that you have. Please don't make any question. And because mostly my answer is written on the book, okay? And after that, there will be only referee meeting where we explain to them which will be the new kind of rules, and with Tina and the sanctioning committee that we met this morning will be explaining you for a referee how his mechanism that we are implemented in this WRTC. As you have seen before, we had a lot of I teach solution that will be explained also to you tomorrow to a competitor, but in details we explain better to the referee because they are our member. The team referee are the committee on the field. So tomorrow morning 9:30 it will be at the Terme Hotel Terme Hotel Center Congress, not here. This evening at 9:30 p.m. you come back again here. We have a several funny time with music and space for dance with ladies and women and what you want. So we can spend a lot of beer time after dinner, and so we can go to sleep at 2, 3 o'clock in the night. Don't worry. Thank you very much and enjoy this weekend.
So, if I well understanding, tomorrow morning we'll be shake and merge the yellow shirt and the orange shirt, okay? We see here at 9, 9:30. No, oggi. This evening at 9:30 here. Many thanks, and the next plenary session will be on Monday for the final.